Well, here we are. It is phase 2 of the potato chip quilt block. So what that means is it's quilting, binding, and reveal day. So as you can see, we've got our quilt top all up here on the board, and there's a lot going on. So I feel like with the quilting on this, I want to do something that is a little structured-ish, just to kind of calm it a little bit, maybe. I don't know if it really will, but I am thinking I have one that's called Easy Peasy Baptist Fan, where it will be pretty structured across. I just feel like doing something loopy is gonna be adding almost too much going on, and at least that's my plan. Once I get this on there and start playing with it, I may go a completely different direction. I'm thinking I want to do a blue or a blue-gray kind of thread, because once again, so much going on, so many colors, lots. I mean, so far this has emptied out a lot of my extra long arm bobbins, so why not empty out a few more? I don't know. I'll probably look and see what I have that is cohesive and makes sense, because my backing is a little extra. I decided, since there were so many colors and prints on the front, I would piece some solids for the back, because I had some big chunks left over from 3-yard quilts that were just barely the width of this quilt. So, and then I had to make some adjustments for some other ones. So here is my backing. It starts with blue, and then goes to green, and then goes to yellow at the bottom. And as you see, I've got not just one piece, but 2 pieces spliced into my dark blue, because that one was not wide enough. And I thought it was gonna be wide enough with this, but this was still too narrow, so I had to add an extra strip. So that's gonna be my backing. And then at the bottom of the yellow, and we'll just cut off whatever excess isn't needed, and then that'll go back in the scrap pile. And so I have a hideously pieced batting as well, so we're just piecing out the wazoo this time. So let's find my pins, find my thread, we'll head over to the long arm, and then we'll get ready to rock and roll with this potato chip party. So our potato chip quilt block quilt, or potato chip block quilt, something like that, is all loaded in and rainbowy as ever. I looked at my blues and they actually were not pleasing to me. So I looked at orange and I was like, maybe that's a little too much. Like, I had loaded on and everything. So I think what I'm going to do is kiwi green. I think it's going to look good. I'm telling myself it's going to look good. And I decided to keep with orange on the back because I think it'll be a fun pop against the blue, the green, and the yellow. So, I mean, we're going to see what happens. And I'm going with the Easy Peasy Baptist fan because I think in all this rainbow, they kind of look like rainbows. So we're going to get all rainbowy and see how this turns out. So I'm pretty sure green was actually the best choice. It looks really good on here and it doesn't stand out aggressively in any spots where it's in a very stark difference. Like on the orange, it actually looks really good. And on the back, not too shabby with that orange thread on the green and all the other colors that are rolled up or not quite there yet. So I'm going to let this sleep on the frame overnight because I'm ready for bed, and we'll take it off in the morning, trim it all up, and I gotta figure out what I'm gonna do for binding. There's so much going on here. I don't know about doing a scrappy binding. Maybe it just needs a solid binding. Maybe it needs a black and white binding. Maybe it needs a scrappy black and white binding. So many different things. So we'll see in the morning when it's time to roll this lovely little rainbow goodness off the frame and finish it all up. Well, if you're hungry and looking for a snack, you're in luck because I've got some finished potato chips for you. I love how this turned out, and everything I read, everything I heard, everything people told me about this quilt block, they were not wrong. It's quick, it's easy, it's mindless, it's so straightforward. It's just so fun, and now I've already been going, well, if this is 2.5, can I set it aside for another potato chip block? So I have a feeling there's going to be a lot of these in my future because when I was making the binding, I was already thinking about making sure my piece was big enough for more potato chip blocks. So again, came together so easily, so fun. My color palette being limited was a little tricky, but I don't think that hindered in the end. And I think one thing I forgot to mention is when I pieced these blocks, I followed, I think Brenda had the notion to finger press her seams while making them so then it goes even quicker. So I finger pressed most seams open because that seemed like the easier way to go. And then I would finger press all my 2s that were together and my 3s. And then once I sewed them on, I then pressed everything. So all those seams in the block themselves were pressed open, which I don't usually do, but with the finger pressing, it definitely helped. And so much fun on the front. I had so much fun making the back because why not get a little extra, but it doesn't take away, it doesn't overwhelm or anything. And so I also think that the Baptist fan was the right, or the easy peasy Baptist fan. It's not a traditional one, but I think it was a good one on there. It went quick, it was big, kind of. It's an 8-inch stitch out, but that's still, it looks bigger than it is. I don't know, but it really works with it to kind of give it a little bit of traditionalness, I guess, but overall so much fun, so much bright and happy and cheery. And then for the binding, I debated doing scrappy, I debated doing solid. I felt like after looking at it, there was so much scrappy going on. I needed something cohesive, but also a little bit different. So I was looking through my black and whites thinking, oh, I'll do a stripe. And I found a stripe. I found the Maywood Kimberbell Studios, like the black and white awning stripes. But I felt like that was gonna be a little bit much. So I found this at the bottom of my bucket. And maybe it's the fact that we've been watching a lot of Big Bang Theory recently. Maybe it's the fact that my sister's getting her PhD this summer in physics. but this just spoke to me. I was like, this is gonna be fun. This is what it needs. Little atoms flying around. And this actually was a big piece of backing, I believe, from my sister's quilt that I made her when she got her bachelor's in physics way back when. And so I had to cut it by length of fabric, not width of fabric. And usually I struggle with my bindings that way because I feel like it doesn't have the same stretch, but I actually didn't do too bad on it. So I did black thread on the top and I kept with the orange on the back for the binding stripe. Kept with the orange on the back for that stripe around the outside, but now it's all done and I'm gonna go take it outside. I believe, if I didn't say it already as well at some point in the video, this was about 46 by 60. So let's do the 511 test. So it's sitting on the floor right here. So comes up to there on me. So definitely a good like child size, like good little crib blanket, play mat, sleepover quilt for grandma's house. I don't know, lots of fun, but definitely more potato chips will be coming in my future and a whole lot of fun there. So 1, we've got to get the reveal photos, and then 2, after that, we'll spin the wheel to figure out what we're going to make in April. So let's look at some photos and then spin that wheel.